Hi, I'm Brian, and today I'm going to be doing something a little different or a little bit more rare. I'm going to be reviewing a triple album, which is only the second triple album that I have reviewed on this channel, the first being Santana's Lotus album. And before you think there's no link between the two albums, hang on, the Lotus will come back to get us. Anyway, so what this is the compilation of the collaboration between Steve Kilbey of the Church and Grant McLennan of the Go-Betweens in their side project called Jack Frost. And this came out in 2025 on the British label Easy Action. And it's really a fantastic project that they've undertaken here, and the results are quite stunning. It's a gorgeous silent press, but it is a triple album, and we have a gatefold. And the gatefold features the first album cover, and there's the Lotus on Snow Job, just in case you missed me there. And another great photo on the back, and I absolutely love this. But there's a problem. We've only got room supposedly for 2 records, if you can see that, and which is very unfortunate. And so I think they're expecting you to put the 3rd record in there, but I just don't think it fits. It's very uncomfortable. So what I did is just I'm sliding it into the middle, so with very little support except the plastic itself. And there's the label, and it comes on a paper sleeve. These all come in paper sleeves with, unfortunately, no polyliner, so I'm going to have to take care of that, I think. And here we have it. So what we have here is the first album, Jack Frost, goes down to there, goes down to there. Then there's a bonus track from a demo from the Times and a couple down there as well, which is a really strange order to be putting these in. And then Snow Job starts over here, comes down here and goes over to there. Very interesting indeed. Thanks for the 2 or 3 people who pointed that out to me when I spoke about how I was going to do a review of this album. So I bought this when I was at the Enmore Theatre in Sydney watching the Church do their singles tour, and I knew the compilation was out. And so what I'd done, and once again being prompted to sort of dive back into it, is I'd streamed both albums while I was walking one day, and it wasn't the greatest experience because I got really excited by one song, and then the next song sort of wasn't as good, and then the next song was great, and the next song wasn't as good. And I thought to myself, maybe this is just my love of Steve Kilbey and the Church sort of subconsciously attacking Grant McLennan's song, but it didn't turn out that way at all. It was just the quality of the songs. Anyway, so I was at the Enmore Theatre in Sydney watching the Church singles tour, and I went over to the merch desk, and I didn't want a t-shirt. I wanted something, it was really kind of, I'm wearing a Church t-shirt now, by the way. Anyway, and I saw this album was sitting there, and it was at a very good price. And I thought, it was the last one. And I thought, you know what, maybe it's time to snap it up. Not because Steve loves me or anything like that, just because it was such a good price. And it looks like such a good, it's such a good sort of compilation as well. And I thought, I'll go for that. And the reason I think it had been knocked off in terms of price was the shrink wrap on the outside was all torn and ruined. And maybe they couldn't sell it for mint. So I don't know a hell of a lot about the Go-Betweens. And if you watch my channel, you probably sort of sense that I can't get into them. I try, but I can't. But it was interesting. We've got 2 songwriters, 2 singers, and 2 bass players who have gotten together in 1991 or a bit before in the 90s, thrown a lot of songs together and gone, whooshka, there we are. So why Jack Frost? Well, Jack Frost is a naughty, mischievous winter sprite who gets blamed for every little thing that goes wrong during the winter season. In this case, maybe Jack opened the door and some narcotics came into the studio, and we'd have to see what happened with that. Also, I'm going to be looking at or telling you what my faves from each album are, my faves are as we go through. And so we can tally those up at the end and see maybe which part of the Jack Frost period I enjoyed the most. It might be interesting along the way, so stick around and let's get into it. The album opens with Every Hour God Sends, which is the first single from Jack Frost, and they released 2 in their time. It's definitely got some moments of Pink Floyd's Set the Controls for the Heart of the Sun here. And we've got Steve taking control of the verses or singing the verses, and Grant doing the choruses. And it's got sort of a real sense of Eastern mysticism in the instrumental sections within this work. But then what it does is goes into this weirdest or the most pointless breakdown I've ever heard, which takes us just down to the rhythm section. It just seems to wander aimlessly there for a while. Now, is this the crack in the pot which makes it so unique and brilliant? I don't think so, but it's a really cool song. Interestingly, I just picked up the first album by the Sisters of Mercy, and that's a really good touching point or touchstone. I can't remember the difference between the two for this song. If you like that first Sisters of Mercy album, then this is the song for you.
seem a little nervous. Just relax. Just give them all your innocence. You've got stacks.
Second track is Birdowner, or As Seen on TV. And what we're greeted with fairly early is on the verses, Grant singing as if through a megaphone. But then in the choruses, Steve gives us this nice, hazy, dream pop style vocal, which really works. And also what really works is I love the instrumental section in the middle of this one with that swanging rhythm guitar and the sound effects. Maybe it hangs on a bit long, but still, it's a good song. Birdowner. War Lament is the next song up, and this is a really interesting one because Grant wrote it, but Steve sings it, and it has this dreamlike beauty all the way from the guitar, 12-string, through the guitar, to the melody, to the harmonies, and it's a beautiful ballad. Really recommend this one. It is a fave.
It's snowing now, it's winter, river's frozen, still you come. I can almost see you and touch you, my pretty one. When all you do is carry on. When all you do is carry on. And all you do is carry on.
Let's now go to Geneva at 4 a.m. I mean, I know, let's all go there again. We've all been to Geneva at 4 a.m. surely. But when we get there, head onto an office building and climb into an elevator and listen to that music take us all the way up to the top floor. There is something deranged and a little bit of off-putting about this one, but the chorus with the string section is absolutely sublime. But it does indeed sound like something that was a demo, slipped out of the room, slipped out of the house, wandered over to the recording studio and got in there by association, sort of like Al Cooper playing the organ on Like a Rolling Stone, if you know what I mean. It's cool. Next up, we have Grant, who is narrating us through Trapeze Boy, which is all about Mrs. Morgan and a trapeze. And there is an absolute ethereal beauty in the backing to his voice. And I love the lyric, "It's amazing how a person you have never met stays with you." It's an absolute fave.
I hadn't thought about Mrs. Morgan for years, until I read in the paper that she had died. When I was a boy, Mrs. Morgan played solo with my mother every Tuesday afternoon. There were two other women there, but I can't remember their names anymore. Monkey, Manklin, something like that.
Final song on side A is called Providence, and you may be familiar with this because Steve tends to play it a lot at solo gigs, and when he was doing those internet shows during COVID, he played it a lot as well. It's a slow, burning epic which has very similar sounds to something like Invisible from After Everything Now This. More keys and strings in the backing which sound absolutely superb, combined with the vocals. It's just a classic. Rooted with U2 and their With or Without You, or All I Want Is You. It's an absolute fave, and I recommend it to you again. Providence.
Boats creak and strange beasts cry, watching shadows in the sky. All I have, all I need, all I got is Providence. All I have, all I need, all I got is Providence.
Grant and Steve combined for a shared vocal in the second single, which is "Thought I Was Over You," which is a fairly common problem. I suppose most of us have been in relationships which have broken up. I think Steve and Grant were going through that similar situation at this point. And you think you're over somebody, and then you hear maybe a song or a memory, and you go, "Damn, I'm not over them at all." One thing I don't like about this song is when the chord that comes before the drums and the bass kick in. It seems really sort of strange to me. This song's not a fave. It's fairly simple, but it is an absolute earworm. It's catchy and memorable, and I think you'll walk away from listening to all three albums, and this one will still be in your mind. The thing about the next song, Threshold, is I think I like the programming more than I actually like the song. It has a demo quality to it, but maybe that's just the drum programming. Some beautiful synths in the middle of this one, and I love the chorus. How long will you keep me waiting? It's nice enough, and it's all very, very hooky. And I've got the feeling that the more I listen to the song, the more I listen to Threshold, the more I'm absolutely going to fall in love with it. And if we want a little bit more sense of assurance, it comes immediately with number 11. And number 11 is a fave for me, and it's probably my number one song. It's certainly the song that got me into Jack Frost more than any other. And it's because I sort of have come to it with a different point of view now. Rather than thinking about this as the church meets the go-betweens, think about it as the side project of Steve Kilbey's recordings and Grant McLennan, and thinking of them coming together to create this new thing, which is really, I don't hear enormous amounts of influence from the church nor from the go-betweens. And the vocals are fantastic on this song. They complement each other so well. And I love that repeated line of, "I know that you can keep me warm." There's dreamy pop here, and ever-changing ethereality of the backing contrasts wonderfully with the precision of the bass and the drums and the vocals. The breakdown to the synths in the middle is absolutely sublime without the rhythm section. This is a gorgeous song. It's far more sort of electronic, if you want a better word. And I'll be interested to see whether other people love this song as much as I do.
I know you can keep me warm. I know you can keep me warm.
Those shared vocals continue in the next song, the last song on side B, which is "Didn't Know Where I Was." And this is a pure up-tempo rocker which shakes the listener like a dog shaking itself after a swim. I'm not a huge fan of the rhythm section here. I'd use words like a bit uninteresting or unambitious, and same for the solo section. I think it just does enough, you know what I mean? Then again, it's got a catchy chorus, so who knows? Didn't know where I was. We got another cool song in Even As We Speak to open up side C. But the snare drum is not really doing this song any favors. It's a delicate song, but the snare drum isn't. I wonder why that was the choice made by Price Surplice, or I'm not sure how to say Price's name, so I'll stick with Price. There's not much going on here, but the rest of the backing, particularly the strings, get slowly louder and they lead us up to a nice crescendo. The gentle chorus is reminiscent of breezy West Coast sounds, but at 5:41, and a lot of the songs are a bit longer here, it just is a little bit too long for my liking and could have been trimmed a little by the producer. Who was that? On the other hand, Ramble is sublime from start to finish. Steve's vocals have this haunting quality. They're dreamy, yet they're pained, and they almost seem as though they're breaking at one point. The gentle guitars and the brushes on the snare drum just work together to create something so effective and a lush, peaceful soundscape. And I adore the extended instrumental section. It's kind of like the anti-harmonica. And any song which includes a spoken or sung section is okay with me. That's also the anti-harmonica. This song drifts and takes the mind away and cleanses it as we go. It's an absolute favorite.
I know you live around here somewhere as I scan the sky. I know that you sleep around here somewhere where it's warm and dry. It's coming on again. It's coming on again.
Maybe a natural successor to Ramble is Everything Takes Forever. And what we have now is a violin in the mix, and that provides a sort of Middle Eastern psyche sort of feel to it. And perhaps this song is really a psychedelic sea shanty, yo ho ho and a bottle of fun. It's a fave. It's so good.
You can sing with the vampires, you can sing with the beast, you can sing that everything takes forever.
I'm going to do something just a little bit different here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the demo songs from Jack Frost, and then I'm going to do Snow Job from start to finish like it was, I suppose, intended initially. And the first demo here we have is Persuasion, and this is the song that ends side C. And it's not a bad side of music if this is the way it's going to end. We've got laid back, late night grooves and great vocals here with Karen Jansen supplying backing vocals. There's an urgency to Grant's singing, which combines or contrasts beautifully with the spoken section from Steve Kilbey. It's like he's whispering in his ear, and the production is magnificent here. This is the first song on the album that I've listened to. We're talking about 3 sides of music that I wish had have gone longer. It's an absolute fave.
You sent for your possessions, delivered to his door. Have you still got your wedding ring? Don't need it anymore. So that's my story told. If there's more, I just don't know. Wish you all good happiness. Now you're down below.
The next bonus track has got a Beatlesque quality to it, and it's called Bad for You. We've got the jingle jangle of the guitars, we've got Grant's vocals and the melodicism of the bass all contributing to that interesting Beatles-ish vibe. It's a cool tune, which I'd like a solo or something to break it up a bit. I'm not counting the harmonica at the end though. Is that Russell Kilby doing that? It's a catchy chorus, and this is a perfectly fine song, Bad for You. The final bonus cut is called Jack's Dream, and so why not just throw in a song which sounds like a bodiless head incantating from a padded cell in outer space? I mean, why not? Now, is this song so good that you have to rush out and buy this triple album if you don't already have it? I don't think so, but I'm not so sure, because this song sure as hell works for me. At first I thought it was like a hidden track. We've got this eerie yet exciting soundscape, and it all works together so brilliantly. What a winner. It's a total fave.
Early